Hi Flosstube, it's Nancy Quilting Stitcher. Today is June 26th. Probably when you see this, it will be June 27th. Hi everyone. I know it's been a while. Things have it's just been crazy. Life has been busy, and I had my quilting retreat and was helping my daughter pick up my grandkids from school towards the end of the school year, and work, and just trying to do everything and get everything filled in. So where should I begin? um, let's see. Let's start with my quilting retreat. That was on June 5th. I headed out and I went to a little town called Panguitch, Utah, and that's where this quilting retreat is. And they have done this for 20 years, and they're going to keep going strong. It is so much fun. There is vendors, and people could display quilts. In fact, my sister-in-law, when I got there, she's like, "Did you bring a quilt to display?" And I'm like, "Oh, I forgot." So maybe next year. And then they have classes, and anyway, and they have a trunk show, and there's show and tell where you can go and show your quilts. And anyway, it's so much fun, and it was 4 days packed full of fun. And I went and stayed with my sister-in-law, which is the brother that passed away back in February that I told you about. This is my sister-in-law, and I stayed with her, and um, we had so much fun. I was a little apprehensive about going at first because last year my daughters went with me, and this year no one went with me, and I drove 7 hours one way by myself. Yeah. And I've never done that before in my life. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to just head out in the morning. And when I get there, and I'm just going to stop on the way and, stop at a couple places and, just stop for lunch and, just get out and stretch a little bit and just take my time. So I left about 9 o'clock in the morning, and my first stop was Shepherd's Bush. That was so much fun. I have been there one other time, and it was fun when I went before, but I was kind of pressed with time, and so I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time there. And so this time I just started at one side of the store, and I just walked around, and I looked at everything, and I touched everything, and took pictures. And I wish I knew how to insert, because if I did, I would, but I don't, so I won't. Anyway, but it was fun, and I talked to one of the ladies that works there, and I found out something about another quilt retreat. So I was telling her what I was doing and where I was going, and she mentioned a quilt retreat in Blackfoot, Idaho. I'm like, wow, I've never heard of a quilt retreat there. That's an hour from where I live. And anyway, so I looked it up online, and it kind of follows the same style as the retreat I attended. And I was sitting there talking to my sister-in-law about it, and I was kind of going through some of the classes. It had already passed. It was back in April. They do it the first weekend in April. But I was looking through some of the classes, and I came across someone that was very familiar. One of the vendors at the quilt retreat that I went to was also a vendor at the one in Idaho, and she was also a teacher. And so I told my sister-in-law, I says, I want to go talk to her. I want to see how this retreat is. And she said, so she told me a little bit about it. And she says they are a vendor there every year, and she teaches a class, and she says it's a lot of fun, and it's pretty similar to the Panguitch quilt retreat. So anyway, I think I'm going to go next year. So I'll be hopefully doing 2 quilt retreats next year. So anyway, stopped at Shepherd's Bush, and I made some purchases. And I will show you what I bought. I don't think this is everything, because I've put some stuff up, and but I mostly just bought charts. So I'll just quickly go through. I found actually kind of my purpose when I went in there is I wanted to see what Lizzie Kates they had and to see if I could get some that I had been wanting for a while. And I did. So let's start with the Lizzie Kates that I found. So I got Lizzie Kates Yankee Doodles and Time for God, My To-Do List. I know there's a glare. I'm sorry. I hope the lighting's okay. It's kind of it's dark outside. I mean, really, it's dusk, and so the lighting may not be very good, and I hope it is though. And then She Believed She Could. I love this. Everything changed the day she figured out there was exactly enough time for the important things in life. She believed she could, so she did. I love that. And then Busy Bee. And then Seasons. I've seen so many people doing these, and they've done them so many different ways, and I just love them. So I got that one. And this one I didn't even think I could find. And I was getting ready to head up the register. I'd already put most of my stuff up at the register, and I was just kind of scanning the store one more time, just kind of looking through stuff to see if there's anything else I wanted. And I turned, and there was a turning rack, and this was on it. So, and then I also got this one. It's called a Cereal Bowl Collection, Lesson Number 2 by Plum Street Sampler. I thought that was really cute. I love patriotic pieces. And then I found 2 Prairie Schoolers. These are the whoops, sorry, showing the chart. These are the cardboard. So I got Folk Eggs. And I got Welcome Spring. And this is the one that's been on Instagram that I think the Night Owl Stitcher did. And only she did hers on, she filled in her background in blue, and it was really cute. Anyway, I thought that was cute. So those are the things I got at Shepherd's Bush while I was there. Sorry, I'm in a different spot. I don't have a lot of room to set stuff. So anyway, so then I spent about 2 hours in Shepherd's Bush, just kind of walking around and looking and stuff. And then I headed back out, and I got down to the Quilt Retreat, and my class wasn't until Friday. So I did open sew one day. I went and did that. What else did we do? And then the first day I really just hung with my sister-in-law and, whatever. And then Thursday I went and did the open sew, and Friday I went to my class. And my class was an all-day class, which they have half-day classes and all-day classes. So the half-day classes are either from like 8:30 till 11:30 in the morning or 2 to 5 in the afternoon. An all-day class goes from 8:30 in the morning until 5 at night, with a break in there for lunch from 11:30 till 2. And in that time, you can do lunch, and then they have a trunk show. And so anyway, one of the people who did the trunk shows was Midway Wool Company, and they are wool dyers that ship to, you can actually buy from them retail, but they actually wholesale. And so a lot of places that if you do wool applique, they may get their wool from Midway Wool Company. And they also were a vendor, so I went to their booth because I showed you in one of my videos the one wool applique I did, and I really enjoyed it. So I decided I would like to get a couple of kits. Wool applique is not cheap. Wool is not cheap. So my plan is I think I'm going to go to some thrift shops and see if I can find like some wool sweaters and some wool skirts and things like that, and so I can cut up my own wool. But a couple of the kits I got was this one. I hope you can see that. Hopefully you can see it. And it's a pillow. I thought that was really cute. And then I got this one, and this is a table runner. And it's, well, it's actually not a table runner. It's it hangs up. You can actually, up here at the top, you can't see it in the picture, but up here at the top you can hang it on like a dowel and hang it on the wall. And it says farm. So it's got, I thought it was really cute. And when I was buying this, she says, oh, if you buy this one, you get its companion piece for 30% off. And I'm like, oh, cool. Where is it? It's right here. And this is like a candle mat. And it's got a milk can and a chicken and some vegetables on it. So I got that. So that's what I got from them. And then, so then I went to my class on Friday, and I'm going to show you what I made. So when you go to the class, the teacher I took is actually, okay, so let me go back to the Midway Wool Company. There is also, they are, let me see if I can find my little, they also have a quilt shop in Midway, Utah, and they call it, she was talking about it, and she says they call it like Little Switzerland, I think, and, or Sweden. I know it's Switzerland. Anyway, and I guess it's a really cool little town and everything. But the quilting store in there is called My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop. So you can look both of these up online if you're interested. My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop and Midway Wool Company. Anyway, so the person that was teaching my class was from Midway Wool Company, but she is the manager of My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop. So she runs the quilt shop part, and then the owner runs the wool part. Anyway, so she happened to be my teacher in my class. And this is the quilt that I'm making. See that? And I think these are going to go together really fast. I think the border is going to take me forever. Forever. Anyway, so in the class, she walked us through making one block and then making us, walking us through making these, I think they're called flying geese. Yeah, that's what they're called. I don't know. I've made them before. I just make them. I don't know what everything's called. Anyway, so we made one block, and then we started making just some of these. We didn't actually even start piecing the border. We just made some of them. So my block that I made is right here. So the fabric I'm using, it's I use a fat quarter bundle. I don't even know the name of it. It's just one that I had. And so I'll do 5 blocks with yellow in the corners, and then I'll do 4 blocks with blue, and then all of them will have the red center. So that's what it looks like. So I got this one done in class, and then I got some of the border, just the flying geese part done. So, and I actually have, sitting over here on my sewing table, another square laid out. It just needs to be sewed together. So anyway, so that is the class I took. I love it. It's so cute. Anyway, so, and then, whoops, I'm losing stuff. So then they have vendors set up in there, and you can go around and make purchases from them. So a couple of things I made. I did buy some fabric, and I forgot to grab it out. But I did buy this kit to make this quilt. This quilt right here. And, but I'm going to change mine up a little bit when I do it, because it has, because this is a table runner that's just laying on top of the quilt. It's kind of hard to see in the picture. But I am not going to applique this on. I'm going to applique this ladder and then sew a panel in between the quilt rather than applicate on the quilt. I'll applicate on the panel. That way I don't cover up any of my squares that I make. But anyway, so this comes with everything to make that. And I showed this to my sister-in-law. She says, oh, I want that. So we went back to the booth and they had one kit left. And so she bought it. So maybe we'll do it together. I don't know. We'll see. And then the other kit I bought was for this. And I haven't actually pulled this out and looked at it because I'm not sure, because these are just 4 different quilts and it comes with the pattern book in here, so I could do any of these. And then it's got some fabric, and I think there's enough fabric you can choose one of these and make it, but I'm not sure. So anyway, I got that one, and I think that's it. That's all I bought. Well, I did have buy another some more fabric, but it's put up. So anyway, so that was fun. And then I got back. Oh, and then also on Saturday they do morning classes if you want to take a morning class, and then they do one last trunk show, and then they do a drawing for a brand new Bernina sewing machine. And but you have to be present to win. So, and a lot of people get up Saturday morning and leave, or they leave Friday night or whatever. So when they do the drawing, they draw out names, and sometimes they can draw several before they get to someone that's actually in, that stayed and waited. And so they had drawn probably 9 or 10 names, and no one was there. And then they drew a name for the person who won the sewing machine, and it was my sister-in-law. And I was so excited for her because it couldn't have happened to a better person. She's just had a really, really tough year. She's lost her husband, and then one of her friends 2 days later lost her husband, and then a couple months after that, another friend had a husband that committed suicide, and so it's just been really a tough year. And then she's had to run the motel by herself, and there's just been some personal struggles, and so it was so excited. I was so excited that she actually won the sewing machine. So anyway, and then Sunday morning I got up and I came home, and I think I got home about 6 o'clock at night and went back to work the next day. So, and I've just been busy working since then. So anyway, and, but 4th of July is coming up. Our town has, a huge 4th of July celebration, and they do it for 5 days, and it starts on June 30th and runs to the 4th of July. And we have a town square, and there's food vendors that set up all around the square, and they're up all week, and they have entertainment in the park every single night, and they do fireworks, and they have a big parade, and on the 4th they do fireworks to kind of kick it off. So our fireworks in this little town are on Sunday, June 30th, and then kind of the parade is kind of the finale thing. They have the big parade, and then on the 4th, and then the food vendors stay open all day and into the evening on the 4th. And then another little town, our community has several little towns within the community, and so one of the other towns in our community, they do fireworks on the 4th. So that's kind of the finale. Anyway, so the 4th is next week, and then we're leaving on vacation. So that will be fun. Okay, so let's get into stitching stuff. Let's start with my finishes. I have a couple of finishes. I think last time I showed you I was working, this is Shepherd's Bush stocking, and I was working on this. I do not have anything to put behind it, so I'm sorry. I'll see if I can, I don't know if this will even help, but that's not, whatever. Anyway, but this is the Shepherd's Bush stocking I finished. This one is for a boy. And I actually did not get it finished in May. I think it was like June 3rd when I finished it. So, and on this one, I did the top border, extended the side border out. Right here in the center, where this empty spot is, there will be a charm that will go there, along with other charms and buttons and stuff. And then the bottom border. So there is another stocking in the books. So I think that makes number 5. I've got 5 done. The other thing I got finished was Sally Spencer. This was a stitch along that was on Instagram, and I finished it. And I believe I finished it up just like last week. And this one was interesting. Okay, so I used all of the called for floss because I had it, the fancy floss. And then I got down here to the bottom, and up here for the black is Black Crow by, I think it's Gentle Arts. I'm not exactly sure. But I got all the lettering done and everything, and got down here and realized I wasn't going to have enough. And so I thought, I am not going to order another skein of fancy floss to just do the rest. I only had the Sooner Done, and the 2 pots, and then my name right here. That's all I had to do in the Black Crow. So I pulled out 2 different colors of DMC. One of them was 3799, I think, and the other one was black. And I kind of compared them and went with the black. So finish using that, and then I actually was not using all the called for colors. I lied on that. This light blue color that is right here is Crystal Lake by Gentle Arts. I did substitute it out for, I can't remember what I substituted it out for. Anyway, but I got everything done, and I got right down here and ran out. So I pulled out old blue jeans, which was as close as I could make it. And I just did that and this outline of this flower, and you really can't tell the difference. So, and then what I did to personalize this, I personalized it down here by, instead of putting Wrought by Sally Spencer, I put Wrought by and put my name and the year that I finished it, 2018. And then in the chart, it has all through it, it has initials. I don't know what they stand for. So I wanted it personalized for me. So I took all of my grandkids' initials, their first names and their middle names, and I personalized it. There's one there, there's one there, and there's 2 there, one down here, and one down here. So there it is. And I like it. It's kind of whimsical, it's quirky, and I'll put it on my sampler wall. So there we go. And then I had one other finish, and this was a finish in May, and then I had a finish in June. And that is the Santa's Village, I'm working on, I guess that's what it's called. So I finished in May the stocking house. And then in June, I started and finished Reindeer Stables. So that is the 2 I have finished. And this is what it looks like all together. Whoops, upside down. That's what it looks like upside down. And there is it right side up. So there you go. And a lot of people have asked me about this fabric. It is opalescent fabric. I don't know if you can see the glitter in it, but it's opalescent fabric that I hand dyed using red dye. And I can't even remember the color I used. It was a blue color. Isn't that pretty though? So I'm halfway done. I am taking the month of July off. and possibly August off with this because I want to do some patriotic pieces. So that's what I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to work on some other stuff. And anyway, so that is that. And then what else? Okay, so then since I finished the one stocking, I started on another stocking, and I'm not going to take this out of the Q frames. And this is Terry's stocking. And I've got most of the girl done. I am filling in her dress right now. I just outlined it, and then this way I can just, and then I do all of the inside, you know, all these little flowers and stuff. And then I can just kind of mindlessly fill it in. So that's where I'm at on that one. And this one is being stitched on 14 count vintage country mocha. And if I'm going to just kind of stick these things back in the bag so that it kind of keeps stuff organized. Okay, so then the next thing that I worked on, I actually started this, and I don't know if I've ever showed it in a video, but I just made barely a start on it, so I don't think I've showed it. But I decided because I want to do some patriotic pieces, and so I pulled out this Prairie Schooler July, and I am stitching this one right here. Eventually I am going to stitch this one, and I can't decide if I want to do it in one big piece or if I just want to break it down and do it all in smalls. But this is the one I'm working on right now. And this is where I'm at. So if I did show it in a previous video, this was all that was done. And then I had pulled it out one night, and I had done, I think, cool treats and melons make, just those words. And I decided, so the other day I pulled it out and I thought, I'm going to work on this. I spent 2 days, and I got all the watermelon done and everything from there up done. So, and I started working on the border because I want to do the border as I'm going down, and I ran out of $8.98, so I got to get it. This is done on a tea and coffee dyed piece of Ada that I had. I have no idea what brand it is. Using all the DMC colors. And when I started doing this, and I pulled out these for the reds, I was really hesitant. I thought, oh, I don't think that's going to look right. But once you start stitching it, yeah, it's amazing. So, and I think I have stitched one other Prairie Schooler a long time ago. I was doing I thought I would do the ABC ones. And I thought I would do all 26 letters, and then I would make it into a quilt. I got A and B done, and that's it. Excuse me for a minute. Sorry, it's dark outside, and I had my window open, or the blinds open, and I think there's somebody outside. So I don't want them seeing me think I'm weird just standing here talking to my computer. So anyway, but so I had started, and I did the A and the B, and then I never did finish them, and eventually maybe I'll pull them out and do the rest of them, except for if I make them into a quilt. I have no idea what fabric I had used to stitch them on, so I'm hoping I can figure it out. But anyway, so there's July, and I plan on eventually doing all of the months, I don't know, whether they're done whenever, I don't know. They'll be done whenever. I'm not going to have solid plans on them. So anyway, so that's Prairie Schooler July. Put this in the bag. And then the other day, I decided, I've had this kitted up for a while, and I showed a while back, I finished that I had done, it was Blackbird Designs, and it was a tribute to my grandma, and it was just kind of a little sampler type thing, and it was a tribute to my maternal grandmother. And I kitted up the one for my mom, and I was going to start it a few months ago and never did, and I thought, well, her birthday is July 1st. I think I'm going to start it July 1st for her. And then the other day I was sitting there and I thought, I'm not waiting until July 1st. I want to start it now. So it's out of this book. It's called Remember Elizabeth Jane. Elizabeth Jane. And this one is this chart, but it has a bonus chart in it. And this is the bonus chart. So this is the one I'm going to stitch in honor of my mother. And I'm going to put her name and her birth year and her death year and that there. So anyway, so then this is what I have done on it. And I am loving it. Now in the picture, the flowers are more pink than I am doing. I am doing the DMC equivalent. This is all the overdyed floss, and I'm not using that. I decided just to go with DMC on this one. And so this is a different color than this one, so it's not, you know, it's not variegated. It's two different colors of DMC. But that's where I'm at on this. And I'm hoping to have this done in July. It is actually going quite fast. So I think I've stitched on it a couple of days. So I'm hoping to have it done in July, her birth month. So that's where I'm at on that one. So that is all my stitching that I've been working on. What else have I been doing? I feel like there's more stitching I've done, but I haven't. I took some stitching with me on the quilt retreat, thinking if I had time, and we're just sitting there visiting or whatever, I could stitch on. And what I took was Liberty's Welcome. And because I just need to fill in on the house and the grass. And so I did fill in. I did get quite a bit filled in. I'm not going to show you that one because, it's just filling in and it's just brown and green and there's really nothing to it. So what else? I have a couple of things I got in the mail this week. Of purchases. Let's see, here they are. Okay, so one is by Homespun Elegance, and I got this. It's called Summer Gatherings, or Summer Gathering, I guess. I thought that was really cute. I think Priscilla showed this, and she is stitching this, and I think that's where I saw it. She had it, and I hunted it down and found it. So I got that one, and then I got this one. It's by Abby Rose Designs, In God We Trust. This is part 3, Long May She Wave. I have part 1. I didn't care for part 2, so I didn't get it, but I got part 3 because I really like it. I like the house. It says In God We Trust, and then this is the Pledge of Allegiance. So I got that. And then I also ordered some fabric from 123 Stitch, and it's Picture This Plus Heroic. And I saw somebody had stitched something on this, and it was, sorry, well, that's just string. Anyway, it was a patriotic piece, and it was really pretty. So I thought, well, I'm gonna get some and see if I like it, and I do like it. It's just got, this end has a little bit more of red and blue in it. This end, it has red and blue in it, but it's very subtle. So I thought that would be good for some patriotic stitching. And then I also, for May, in May, I got my fabric of the month, and she did come through, and I've paid for June. I haven't got it yet, so hopefully, I'm thinking it should be here in the next day or two. But May's was Mellow by Picture This Plus, and I love it. It's kind of a yellowy color. It's so pretty. I think this would be really pretty. And I get a fat quarter. It'd be pretty for a spring, something spring on it. So that's it. That's all I have. You would think being gone for 6 weeks I've had tons and tons of stuff to share, but that's it. So my plans between now and whenever I do my next video, it definitely will not be until after we get back from vacation. So a few weeks, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I'll try to pop on here when we get back from vacation and do a video, even if it's just a quick video. So my plans are I'm going to keep working on the stocking, my prairie schooler, my blackbird design for my mom, and as far as stitching that I'm taking with me on vacation, I cannot decide. I know I'm going to take Liberty's Welcome because I can stitch on it on the way down and on the way home, and I don't have to worry about marking off on my chart or anything because I'll just be filling in the house. So maybe on my next video I will have some progress that I can show you. And that's it. Think I'm taking a break from the Census Village. So, and I think if I get the July Prairie Schooler done and this other Blackbird sampler, I'll probably just start on another patriotic project. Anyway, so that's it. Sorry I was gone for so long. I will try not to be gone as long next time. And I think that's it. So everyone have a wonderful day. Have a happy 4th of July, and I will see you after vacation. Bye.